last few weeks for you. When you were initially released, what did they tell you? Did they want you to kind of keep in touch and stay in shape? Was there kind of a thought that you'd be back, or did you not know? Or
They told me to keep in touch, and we kept in touch, and we talked that night and talked the night the day before. How NFL is a crazy process, and there's other things at play, but we definitely talked.
You've been around, you've seen a lot. Did you kind of take it as this is a business? Was it hard? You've never been released before, you know?
Yeah, I've never released. That's what everyone says, man. Business is business, and you got to kind of operate that like that a little bit. But I mean, personally, it's different when it personally happens to you. But at the same time, you got a job to do, and you got to go do it as a professional. But it definitely stings. For sure.
And then to come back so quickly and make such a positive impact in your first game back. I know you played almost every snap last year. So what was it like, first of all, not playing week one? You missed 3 snaps last year.
Yeah, I was changing diapers, and, on Sunday and then playing on Thursday. So that was weird. But I got to catch up and watch some other guys. I got to watch obviously the team play Patriots and some other teams around the league. So I got to watch some ball, but it obviously hurts to not be able to play. So that kind of sucked, but I got my opportunity, so I'm happy about that. Yeah.
How do you stay ready?
Watching, staying in the playbook, staying on the film study, watching around the league too, because obviously you can see what other offenses are doing, and they can kind of help you prepare. So that's the biggest thing, just watching. That's all I could do, honestly.
What was your initial reaction when, did you feel like we all kind of thought you had a roster spot locked up at 53?
And nothing's guaranteed in this league. Nothing's guaranteed in this life. Should I had a guaranteed contract and was at 21, and broke my leg and in training camp, didn't play the whole season. So it doesn't guarantee in this league, and it's part of the process, but it's part of, getting your mind right, ready to go. It's part of being a professional.
Did you have any trouble staying positive through everything? Or?
Oh, absolutely. I'm human, right? I'm human, but the professional side of me also says I got to be ready to go. So yeah, it's part of it. It's definitely double-sided.
How good was it to come out Thursday and kind of, I guess,
that was awesome, man. Being back at the facility, that was nice, and then getting on the field, obviously that was awesome. Driving up to the stadium, stuff like that. Those things are fun. It's part of the all of the NFL. Sometimes we lose that as professionals, lose the all of being in the league. We dreamed of it, and so I took it in all moment, but at the same time, it's also a job. You got to do a job. So.
How did you feel you played Thursday night?
Oh, I enjoyed the way I played. I think there's always room to improve, and you always want to look to see if you can get better. That's the mindset that I have, and I look to get better week by week.
You usually use a blitzer here and there. How do you like that? Do you feel like that's an area?
That's just part of the calls. I can't say it's me in particular. It's part of the calls. My number's called when number's called. If it's not, it's not. I don't really look at that. I know some guys love the blitz, and they really, but if my number's called, I'll blitz, but. It wasn't necessarily a gameplay thing. For sure. Yeah.
It just seems like you and Zach are kind of you were the guys who were doing it the other night.
Yeah, that's part of some of the schematics and trying to get certain looks and stuff like that. Obviously, whenever we get one-on-ones, like we blitz and it keeps the back from chipping Sweaty, so Sweaty gets those strips out, right? So that's kind of some schematic things that kind of help out the rush a little bit if we can. Just free those guys up.
What stands out to you about Tampa's offense?
Well, they do a really good job of setting up the play actions and the boots off the runs. So they got a good scheme with the outside zone, and off of that they got boots. Baker does a good job with good mobility of throwing it, whether he's booting to his right or booting to his left. So that can be difficult to kind of game plan for. So you got to kind of, I wouldn't say play soft in the run, but you got to make sure you really read your keys because the over could be right behind you. So they do a good job of setting boots left and right. And most teams only boot one way because quarterbacks can only throw it off certain platforms. So they do a good job with that. Play actions, and then when they get the ball to their guys in space, those guys make plays. So that's the biggest thing I think I've seen.
What has stood out to you about Baker through their first 2 games?
I would say he looks good. Throwing off different platforms. One play on was like a 3rd and short. First 2 reads weren't there. He got back to the 3rd read and kind of flipped it to him and converted. So he does a good job of finding those guys in space and keeping himself alive to kind of extend the play. And then obviously, like I said, off the boots, he does a really good job of finding those open guys and getting to the platform to throw it, even when guys are hitting. So,
I don't want to dwell on roster cuts and everything, but I think it's a great story just how he came back and played so well 12 days after they cut you. What's the first thing you did after they told you
I'll tell you, they released me. I went back home. They released me at 3:30. So it's like 30 minutes before the initial cut, and so that's kind of a whirlwind there, but. The day after, I told my agent, hey, look, I'm going to go up to his favorite spot. I'm not going to say the name. His favorite spot it's in the U.S. So I'm gonna take a couple of days off, and I'll get back in here on Monday and do it. So they let me go to where I was gonna go and kind of hang out a little bit, and I came back ready to work. So it was different. It wasn't something that it felt good, but being able to take my mind off of it for a little bit and then coming back and working, I think really helped me.
Third straight week, you guys are going against a very well-coached defense behind, Todd Bowles' defense that is very well known in the league. How do you kind of prep when you guys are getting back-to-back weeks of just formidable defenses?
Yeah, I mean, they're a very well-coached team. Great on defense. They have some pieces that can really fly around. I honestly say one of the better linebacker cores in the league. So it's going to be a great challenge for us, but we just got to do what we do. You know what I mean? We're doing our best to be the best that we can be individually and as a team. We know that if we go out there and we play together, we're expecting good things to happen. But, we got to go out there and earn it for sure.
Back to kind of that conversation about going with the hot hand. Nick Sirianni also said that he's not putting expectations on any of you in that running back group because it is ever changing at that position. Do you feel that? Do you feel like you can kind of just play free?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, it really comes back to just the mindset and mentality of everybody in that room. We're making the most of our opportunities. We're not worried about how many opportunities we get.
Boston, wondering about the kickoff rules a couple games in. Has it been kind of what you expected?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually looking at, because back in the day, like they would try and like squib the ball to the bigger guys whenever you could get together in the wedge. I was watching like big man kickoffs, and I just saw a lot of them were actually squibs. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much expected. I mean, because
were you thinking like maybe teams would try to avoid it and keep it lower and get it to like the 5 or anything like that?
So that's what I'm saying. So like I would see some of those squibs, and those squibs really, I mean, unless it's like a weird condition game on like some like a surface like turf or something, like I don't know, like it just didn't travel, the way that it can through the air, kicking the squibs or whatever. So, then you got a lot of time whenever somebody picks it up, they have a lot of time to like, get back upfield in a hurry. So I don't know. It's hard to say. So
I know there's, some guys are a little banged up on this team. You kind of got a mini bye really to start the season. How do you think that has benefited you guys headed into Monday night?
Yeah. Having a little time to rest and recover has been great. It's been unfortunate. It's just been it's just been unfortunate where we've had those injuries, but I'm glad that we had that time to really get our feet back under us and recover. Yeah.
Austin, I apologize if you were asked this earlier, but you guys will get back to practice today. How are you feeling, and how good did it feel just to get out there and run around with the guys?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm just glad to be out there with the team again. Glad to, I love this game, so just being able to be out there with the guys, being out there with the running backs, and just seeing everybody do what they do, it's a blessing to me. So happy to be back.